Heisman Trophy winners who flopped in the NFL. This video should be super interesting. I think I already have an idea who some of these people are going to be. Not going to assume, not going to say no names yet. Tim Tebow. Johnny Manziel. All right, but this video is by Blitz. I don't think we've ever watched a Blitz video before. But let's get right into it.
Winning the Heisman is the greatest honor a college football player can receive.
This is a moment that I've dreamed about since I've been a kid.
But what if I told you some of the greatest college players of all time never even came close to making it in the pros?
He's not a
I wonder why.
quarterback, guys.
Jameis Winston has a loser's mentality.
He just failed at rehab.
These are the Heisman Trophy winners who failed miserably in the NFL. Starting with Marcus Mariota. In 2014, Marcus Mariota put up over 4,400 passing yards, nearly 800 rushing yards, and scored 58 total touchdowns with just 4 interceptions. He led Oregon to the national championship game and capped off the stellar season by winning the Heisman Trophy.
The winner of the 2014 Heisman Memorial Trophy is Marcus Mariota of the University of Oregon.
Is that Todd Gurley as well?
At the NFL Combine, he turned heads by finishing first among quarterbacks in the 40-yard dash. By the time the draft rolled around, he was considered one of the cleanest and most promising prospects in years. So when the Tennessee Titans picked him up second overall, it felt like a no-brainer.
With the second pick in the 2015 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Marcus Mariota.
And right away, he delivered. In his very first NFL game, he threw 4 touchdowns in just the first half. He made defenders miss, ran circles around blitzes, and looked like he belonged.
This kid is better than a lot of people thought he was going to be. He's got a future in the NFL.
But that spark didn't last long. By year 2, the cracks started showing. He struggled reading NFL defenses. He held the ball too long. And even when his stats looked solid, the offense just felt slow.
Mariota's looking right at the guy, letting the whole defense know what's going to happen, and then throw, well, what do you think is going to happen? It was poor quarterback play.
The Titans tried to make it work, bringing in new coordinators, new play callers, and even trying new systems, but nothing clicked. And to make matters worse, injuries piled up. A fractured fibula, hamstring issues, elbow nerve damage. He just couldn't stay on the field. So, by 2019, the Titans had seen enough. They benched him mid-season for Ryan Tannehill, who immediately took Tennessee to the AFC Championship. And that was it.
He goes from their #1 surefire, highly paid starter to a backup.
Mariota's starting job and the belief that he could ever be a franchise guy was gone. After his time in Tennessee, he bounced around the NFL from Vegas to Atlanta, then Philly, and is currently a backup for the Washington Commanders. But for as much hype as there was surrounding Marcus Mariota heading into the 2015 draft, there was still one player selected before him, Jameis Winston. At Florida State, he looked unstoppable. He won the Heisman as a redshirt freshman in 2013.
And the winner is Jameis Winston, Florida State University.
After throwing for 4,000 yards and 40 touchdowns, then led his team to a national championship. He was clutch, strong-armed, and fearless. Maybe a little too fearless. Because when the Bucs drafted him first overall in 2015, they were expecting greatness.
He is perhaps the best quarterback that we have seen since
Jameis was nice out
here. He's very smart. He can read secondaries and defenses and make adjustments.
Instead, they got chaos. His very first pass attempt in the NFL was a pick 6.
Oh my God.
Praying for the Lord to deliver me from pick 6s.
He'd throw a beautiful 40-yard bomb one drive, then toss a pick 6 the next.
He's so
not a competent quarterback, guys.
No, the knock on him has been being turnover prone.
Jameis led the league in turnovers multiple times. And by year 5, he hit a stat line that was unheard of in the modern NFL. 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions. The Bucs had seen enough and let him walk in free agency.
We thought we could fix him, but the turnovers made us look to see what's behind door number 2.
Tampa Bay kept the exact same roster, added Tom Brady, and won the Super Bowl immediately.
Jameis Winston, literally same team, just Tom Brady. Team goes to the Super Bowl.
Has a loser's mentality. That's why they didn't win in Tampa. That's why Tom Brady came there, took the same team, and went to the Super Bowl.
Meanwhile, Winston landed in New Orleans to back up Drew Brees. He got another chance as a starter, and once again, the story stayed the same. Flashes of brilliance, followed by injuries, turnovers, and questions about whether he'd ever put it all together. He went on to back up for the Browns, and is now a backup for the Giants. But while the freshman Heisman winner's career might not have turned out the way we hoped, there's no denying that he's one of the most entertaining and beloved players in NFL history.
That's a W. That's he won.
Now, let's go back to the first player to ever win the Heisman as a freshman. That would be Johnny Manziel. He was a college phenomenon. He ran around like a kid playing backyard football and somehow made it work every single Saturday. In 2012, he threw for over 3,700 yards, ran for another 1,400, and became the first freshman in history to win the Heisman Trophy.
And now, the 2012 winner of the Heisman Memorial Trophy is Johnny Manziel.
Behind the swagger and the highlight plays, Manziel was getting even more attention for all the wrong reasons. He was hanging with rappers, getting photographed in clubs during the season, and even got kicked out of a University of Texas frat party.
On Friday night, Manziel was reportedly quickly and harshly removed from a frat party, as you can see in this video.
By the time he entered the 2014 NFL Draft, his talent was clear, but teams weren't convinced he'd take the job seriously.
Johnny Manziel was a magician on the field. If he eats, sleeps, and drinks football 365 days a year, to me, he can be a very good to great player in the NFL.
And when draft day they arrived, those doubts caught up to him, and he started sliding in the first round. Trying to prove he was all in, Manziel texted the Browns QB coach, "I want to wreck this league together." He asked the Browns to trade up for him, and they did.
With the 22nd pick in the 2014 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns
They
select
traded up
Johnny
for him?
Manziel.
Then the game started, and it fell apart. In 2 NFL seasons, Manziel started just 8 games. He completed fewer than 58% of his passes. He couldn't read defenses, never stayed in the pocket, and most of the time, it looked like he didn't even know the playbook. The same magic he used in college flat out didn't work in the NFL. But what made it worse was everything off the field. He skipped team meetings, ignored coaches, showed up late, or didn't show up at all. He even got caught in Vegas the night before a game, wearing a blonde wig and glasses to disguise himself.
He actually ate dinner with the blonde wig on and the glasses.
Now, the Browns as a whole were a mess during that era, sure, but Manziel didn't do anything to help that. By 2016, he was out of the NFL. After that, he bounced around. He tried the CFL but got cut, then tried the AAF for a bit before that league folded. Without the work ethic, without the maturity, and without the structure, it was only a matter of time before Johnny Football was gone for good. It seemed like he cared more about being a celebrity and partying over being an NFL player. And when it came to fame, only one other player ever matched his spotlight. Tim Tebow. Tebow was a legend before he even entered college. While he was still in high school, ESPN created a whole documentary about him, titled The Chosen One. Tebow was pure emotion. Every game felt like a mission. He'd run through defenders, fire up crowds, and drag Florida to wins by sheer willpower.
I promise you one thing, a lot of good will come out of this. You will never seen any player play as hard as I will play the rest of the season, and you never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push, and you never see a team play harder than we will the rest of the season. God bless.
By the end of his legendary college career, he had 2 national championships, 1 Heisman, and a cult-like following that made him one of the most beloved college players ever. But NFL scouts didn't care about any of that. They saw his long release and awkward throwing motion and asked the question that was on everyone's mind. Could Tim Tebow actually throw the football well enough to survive in the NFL? Well, the Denver Broncos were willing to take that chance, drafting him with the 25th overall pick in the 2010 draft.
And with the 25th pick in the 2010 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Tim Tebow, quarterback, Florida.
After sitting the bench his rookie year, Tebow got the starting position in 2011, where he started winning games. Ugly games. Wild, last-second, heart-stopping games. But wins nonetheless. Tebow went on a miracle run that season that became known as Tebow time. He led 6 fourth-quarter comebacks, and then a playoff game against the Steelers. Dude, I fucking hate this.
Stop! We don't want to see this shit. Bro, I was crying this day. I cried this day. How the fuck did we let Tebow and DT...
He threw an 80-yard touchdown in overtime.
Oh my God. That's one of the great lessons that you learn in football. Courage to keep fighting. You know, when you're down, when you get knocked down over and over again, you're going to keep getting up.
For one wild moment, Tim Tebow looked like he was silencing every doubter. But the Broncos signed Peyton Manning the very next offseason. Tebow got traded to the Jets, barely saw the field, and never started another NFL game. He bounced around to the Patriots, then the Eagles, then out of the league completely. And if you look at his 47.9% completion rate, it makes sense. He was an incredible leader, but a not-so-incredible player. After retiring, Tebow tried baseball broadcasting, and even made a brief NFL comeback attempt with the Jaguars in 2021 as a tight end, but nothing lasted. The truth is that he was a Heisman legend that never quite belonged in the NFL. If only Tebow could throw on top of his elite running ability, which is exactly what Robert Griffin III could do. In college, he was untouchable. In 2011, he threw for over 4,000 yards, ran for nearly 700, totaled 47 touchdowns, and walked away with the Heisman Trophy.
Great things don't happen without hard work.
He made Baylor, a program that could never break through as one of college football's elites, into must-watch TV. And then Washington traded a haul of picks to draft him 2nd overall in 2012. It felt like the league was about to change.
With the 2nd pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Robert Griffin III.
As a rookie, RG3
Dude, if he didn't
was
get hurt though, man.
He threw for 20 passing touchdowns and just 5 interceptions, while adding another 800 rushing yards and 7 more scores on the ground. He was the ultimate dual threat weapon, and Washington rode his elite playmaking ability straight into the playoffs. However, late in the season, RG3 banged up his knee, but he kept playing. Then, in a playoff game against Seattle, it all came crashing down. He re-injured the knee, tearing his ACL and LCL. And that moment didn't just end Washington's season.
That was the end of RG3, man. The D-Rose of football.
It ended everything that made RG3 special. His speed and confidence weren't the same, his mechanics got worse, his reads slowed down. So, by year 3, he got benched for Kirk Cousins, the 4th-round backup he was supposed to tower over. Then, in 2016, Washington let him walk. He signed with Cleveland, got injured again, and that was pretty much it. He bounced around as a backup and spent a few quiet years behind Lamar Jackson in Baltimore before finally calling it quits. He was supposed to be the future, but one injury turned him into a what could have been. Much like RG3, Sam Bradford suffered a similar fate. At Oklahoma, Sam Bradford looked like a future #1 pick from the moment he stepped on the field. And in 2008, he made it official with 50 touchdown passes, over 4,700 yards, and a Heisman Trophy.
And the winner of the 2008 Heisman Trophy is Sam Bradford.
Right before it was time to take his talents to the NFL, the injury started. He hurt his shoulder in college, missing nearly the whole 2009 season.
It's really hard to put into words the frustration that I felt right now.
Still, the St. Louis Rams took the risk and made him the #1 overall pick in 2010.
With the first pick in the 2010 NFL Draft, the St. Louis Rams select Sam Bradford, quarterback, Oklahoma.
As a rookie, Bradford threw for over 3,500 yards, helped the Rams go from hopeless to competitive, and won Offensive Rookie of the Year. But after that, Bradford couldn't stay healthy. Sprained ankles, torn ACLs, bruised everything. He missed so many games, and every time he came back, it felt like a reset button had been hit. There was a new coach, a new system, or some new setback. But teams kept believing it. The Eagles traded for him. Then the Vikings gave up a first-rounder when Teddy Bridgewater went down. Then Arizona gave him $20 million guaranteed to try again. But every stop ended the same way. Injuries, frustration, a few flashes, then a quick exit. And that's what made Bradford so hard to figure out. He just never became what he was supposed to be. He had every tool you could want in a quarterback, except the one that matters most in the NFL, durability. But while Bradford just couldn't stay healthy, Matt Leinart couldn't stay relevant. At USC, Leinart won the Heisman in 2004.
The winner of the 2004 Heisman Memorial Trophy, Matt Leinart from the University of Southern California.
Led the Trojans to back-to-back national championships and lost just 2 games in his entire college career. And when he decided to return to school for his senior year,
I've announced I will be coming back for my 5th year.
Instead of entering the NFL draft early, many called it smart or mature. But looking back, that might have been the move that cost him everything. When Leinart finally entered the 2006 NFL draft, the hype had cooled. Scouts started picking him apart, saying he didn't have elite arm strength, couldn't move well, and didn't take enough snaps under center. He fell to the 10th overall pick, where the Arizona Cardinals took a chance on him.
With the 10th choice in the 2006 NFL draft, the Arizona Cardinals select Matt Leinart, quarterback, USC.
I feel good. I'm ready. I mean, this is my job now. I'm ready to go.
He had a solid rookie season, where he showed flashes of leadership and made some big-time throws. But after an injury early in year 2, the backup, 36-year-old Kurt Warner, came in and lit it up. And just like that, Leinart lost his job.
It wasn't a hard decision. You know, it really just came down to who we felt gave us the best chance to win at that time, and that was Kurt.
Not for a week or 2, for good. He bounced to Houston, Oakland, then Buffalo. But he never really got another shot as a starter. Why? It wasn't just the lack of talent, it was the lack of edge. Leinart was never known for his work ethic. Rumors swirled that he didn't study enough and didn't grind the way a franchise QB should.
He really wasn't that good at all,
got faster and tougher, he didn't. And that's what crushed his NFL career.
When I look back, I feel like probably early on in my career, I didn't take it as seriously as I should have.
To succeed in the NFL,
dude, hold on. That old Raiders field was so. I don't know why I liked it so much. Like how it was like half a baseball field.
Gotta want it more than anyone.
Why were they playing on a baseball
Ron
field?
Dane was another prime example of work ethic not matching up with talent. After 4 straight 1,000-plus yard years and 6,397 total rushing yards across 4 seasons, Ron Dane left Wisconsin as the all-time NCAA leader in rushing yards. And he didn't exactly run around people. He ran straight through them. He was 250 pounds of pure punishment. So when the Giants drafted him 11th overall in 2000, it looked like they were getting a sure thing. Powered back built for cold weather, fourth quarters, and goal line dominance. The perfect complement to their other running back, speedster Tiki Barber. But in the NFL, Ron Dane never looked the same. He showed up to camp out of shape, and he got fewer carries and made less of an impact. Instead of being the Thunder to Tiki's Lightning, he quickly got buried on the depth chart because coaches didn't trust his conditioning. And the more time passed, the more obvious it became Dane wasn't an NFL talent. He was a straight-line downhill bruiser in an NFL that was starting to favor quicker, more versatile backs. He couldn't catch out of the backfield, he didn't have the lateral agility to make defenders miss, and he didn't adapt. He spent 4 disappointing seasons in New York, never rushed for more than 770 yards in a year, and was eventually cut. He moved on to Denver, then Houston, where he had a few solid games,
are better than
but
agility backs.
And by 2007, he was completely out of the league with no Pro Bowls, no playoff moments, and no breakout year. But while Dane at least got his chance, Andre Ware wasn't as fortunate. Ware was putting up video game numbers before the phrase video game numbers was even a thing. At Houston in 1989, Andre threw for over 4,600 yards and 46 touchdowns in just 11 games.
I'd never heard of this
He
guy
became
before.
the first black quarterback to win the Heisman Trophy.
Join me in the signal honor of awarding the 1989 Heisman Memorial Trophy to Andre Ware of the University of Houston.
And he did it in style. He was fast, fearless, and made defenses look like practice dummies. It felt like he was ahead of his time. A mobile QB with a cannon arm wasn't something
Has anyone ever heard of this guy before, Chad?
In the 80s and 90s. So when the Detroit Lions drafted him 7th overall in 1990,
just a dream to play in the NFL, so I would be happy just about going in.
You'd think they'd have a plan to build the offense around him, right?
The Lions
well, they didn't.
So
From the second he arrived in Detroit, Ware was put into a system that didn't fit him at all. They barely gave him reps in practice. He sat behind aging veterans.
Well, it kind of humbles you a little bit, and it's kind of frustrating because when you're watching someone else play and you get a little hungrier to play.
And when he finally did get on the field, it was always just in garbage time.
Dude.
The same Lions team that drafted him for his skill set refused to let him use it. Rather than trying to mold their offense around Ware, they tried to mold him into something else. And when he couldn't become that fast enough, they gave up. He started just 6 games in his entire NFL career, in which he threw just 5 touchdowns. He then went to the CFL for a few years, trying to revive his career, but the momentum was gone. He had all the talent in the world. He just landed in the wrong era, with the wrong team, in a league that never believed in him. And the worst part, we'll never know how good he could have been. But while Ware never got his chance, Archie Griffin didn't fail because of opportunities, or even injuries for that matter. He failed for something completely different. Running back Archie Griffin is college football royalty. He's the only player to ever win the Heisman Trophy twice, which he did in back-to-back seasons in 1974 and 75. At Ohio State, he was everything a coach could dream of. Smart, explosive, and reliable. He rushed for over 100 yards in 31 straight games, finished with nearly 6,000 rushing yards, and helped lead the Buckeyes to 4 straight Big Ten titles. He was the very face of consistency. Never flashy, never cocky. He just worked week after week, year after year. He was as can't-miss of a prospect as you can find, or at least we thought. After being drafted by the Bengals 24th overall, things just felt different once he took the field in the NFL. He wasn't bad, he just wasn't special. He never rushed for more than 700 yards in a single season. He only scored 7 total touchdowns in 7 years, and by the time he retired, he had barely cleared 2,800 rushing yards. It wasn't because he stopped trying. It was because the traits that made him elite in college, like his vision, balance, and quick cuts, weren't enough to separate him at the pro level. He just didn't have breakaway speed. He could no longer overpower defenders. And in a league where almost every defender is faster, stronger, and meaner than what you faced in college, that stuff matters. He quietly lost touches, and by the early 1980s, Archie Griffin, college football's most decorated player, was out of the league entirely. And it wasn't because of scandals, injuries, or even the lack of opportunities. It was just the cruel truth of the NFL. Being the best in college doesn't guarantee anything at the next level. And hey,
video there by Blitz.
My treat.
Heisman Trophy winners who flopped in NFL.
W video by Blitz.
Hey, if you guys are new to the YouTube, make sure you guys hit that sub button. We're gonna be dropping videos daily. We're gonna keep reacting, man. We're gonna keep reacting. It's what we want, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Like the video, comment if you learned something new, and hit that sub button. Peace.